Welcome to another episode of Sustainability Unveiled, expert advice in 5 minutes or less, your go-to podcast for insights and expert advice on building a sustainable future. I'm EcoVoice, and today's episode is all about how clean energy employers can harness the power of registered apprenticeship programs to build a skilled workforce in the booming solar industry. With expert insights from Dr. Deborah Williamson, Vice President of IWSI America, where she lays out a clear roadmap for employers who want to tap into federal support and create a pipeline of talent ready to meet the growing demands of the renewable energy sector. Today's episode is slightly longer than 5 minutes. You will not be disappointed. We'll break down the challenges, the opportunities, and real-world examples of business using these programs to not only meet today's needs, but to set themselves up for long-term success. If you've ever wondered how to get started with apprenticeships in the clean energy space, this episode is for you. Why apprenticeships are key. Let's start with the big picture. The need for skilled workers is rapidly increasing in the renewable energy industry, especially in the solar subsector. By 2030, the renewable energy sector is expected to add an incredible 2.6 million new jobs, according to the World Economic Forum. But here's the challenge. Many jobs don't even exist. We're talking about roles like electric vehicle maintenance technician, commercial portfolio energy manager, and supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, operator for energy systems, jobs that require specialized training that can't be developed overnight. That's where registered apprenticeship programs, or RAPs, come in. These are not just any apprenticeship programs. They are federally endorsed, designed to meet industry-specific needs, and they lead to nationally recognized credentials. The Department of Labor or state apprenticeship agencies approve them, ensuring they meet high-quality standards. Dr. Williamson emphasizes that our apps are an underutilized resource in the clean energy sector, despite their proven success in other industries. Right now, only 0.3% of the U.S. labor force is involved in apprenticeships. Compare that to countries like Germany, where 2 to 3% of the workforce are apprentices. Clearly, the U.S. has some catching up to do. Apprenticeships versus internships. What's the difference? One of Dr. Williamson's most striking comparisons is between internships and apprenticeships. While internships have become a common stepping stone into the workforce, the statistics show that they're not always a reliable path to long-term employment. Only about 60% of interns, whether paid or unpaid, get a job after their program. In contrast, 94% of apprentices secure employment after completing their RAP. This is a huge difference. Why? Because RAPs offer structured, hands-on training that directly aligns with industry needs. Apprentices learn on the job while also receiving formal education, making them better prepared for the specific roles companies need to fill. This structure provides job security for the apprentices and builds a loyal, skilled workforce for employers. Federal support and financial incentives. Now, let's discuss the financial side. One reason RAPs are so attractive right now is the substantial federal support available to businesses that invest in clean energy apprenticeships. Initiatives like the Inflation Reduction Act allow companies to access tax credits, grants, and other funding opportunities. These incentives can make a huge difference, especially for smaller businesses. For example, companies that comply with the Inflation Reduction Act's fair wage and apprenticeship provisions can receive tax credits that are 5 times the base incentive amount. These credits apply to projects in solar energy, battery storage, wind power, carbon capture, and clean hydrogen. The Department of Labor even provides interactive maps that show which projects are eligible for these tax credits. This is a great tool for businesses to identify where to get the most bang for their buck. How to get started with RAPs. So how do you get started with a registered apprenticeship program? Setting up and RAP might seem daunting, especially with all the government guidelines, policies, and regulations involved. But here's the good news. There's help available. The Department of Labor has already approved more than 1,000 RAP occupations. That means businesses don't have to start from scratch. You can take up to 75% of these existing standards and then customize the rest to fit your specific needs. There are also organizations like the ACE Network, which Dr. Williamson's team is part of, that offer free technical assistance to employers. Whether it is designing a program, getting it registered, or scaling it up, the ACE Network is there to help. They already support over 2,000 apprenticeships, strongly focusing on bringing people from underrepresented populations into the clean energy workforce. Real-world success stories. Let's examine how two companies have successfully used RAPs to build their solar workforce. First, Freedom Forever is a residential solar energy installer based in California. They've secured Department of Labor approval to run registered apprenticeship programs in multiple states, including Maine and Texas. Freedom Forever has been growing steadily over the past few years, and RAPEs are now a key part of their expansion strategy. By offering a mix of in-house technical instruction and third-party training, they're building a pipeline of skilled workers ready to meet the demands of their growing business. Another example comes from That Solar Company, Missouri's smaller residential solar installer. The company, founded by Bud Pierce, a former U.S. Army electrician, now employs 25 people. With the help of IWSI America and the State Apprenticeship Office, they developed and approved their RAP in just 2 months. Pierce plans to have at least 20 apprentices on staff by 2028, building a workforce ready for the future of solar installation. The future of solar apprenticeships. As technology evolves, so too must apprenticeship programs. Dr. Williamson notes that the AC network is developing competency-based and hybrid programs that allow employers to adapt their training to new technologies like energy storage, EV chargers, and even smart home systems. They're also building an extensive resource library to help standardize training across the industry, ensuring that workers are prepared for the next generation of solar technology. So, to wrap things up, registered apprenticeship programs are a proven, reliable pathway for building a skilled workforce in the clean energy sector. Whether you're a large company like Freedom Forever or a small business like That Solar Company, there's support and funding available to help you get started. And as Dr. Williamson emphasizes, you don't have to do it alone. Organizations like the ACS Network offer free guidance and technical assistance, and the tools are there to help employers create future-ready programs that meet today's needs and anticipate the demands of tomorrow's renewable energy landscape. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Sustainability Unveiled.